They say that 13 is the unluckiest of numbers, and for one unfortunate dog, that number will haunt him forever. Yes, poor Loki was stuck on a train track for 6 hopeless hours, with train after train running over him. Apparently, 13 different train conductors assumed that he was already dead. On the day of the accident, in February 2016, the 14-month-old pit bull mix had escaped from his home in Kuna, Idaho. His owners, Ashley and Ryan Rossi, and their 2 children, had no idea where he'd gone. Like most families, the Rossis doted on their beloved pets and described Loki as kind, gentle, and sweet. Speaking to news channel KTVB, Dad Ryan said the puppy was not just a dog, but also a family member. That's why, then, the Rossis were so concerned when little Loki went missing. It seemed that the parents had left Loki and their other dog, Rosie, in the garden while they were at work and the kids at school. But when everyone got home, there was no sign of Loki anywhere. Also, if you've not done so already, please subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell to get inspired by these animal stories every day. Now, back to the story. What followed was a desperate search to find their darling doggie. Indeed, they drove around the neighborhood looking for Loki and posted pleas on social media sites, asking friends and family in the area to help with the search. Then at around 8 p.m., the family got a phone call letting them know that Loki was alive, barely. It was at this moment that the Rossis discovered that the dog had somehow been run over not once, but 13 times by 13 different trains. It turned out that Loki had somehow made his way onto the tracks, which are situated just 100 yards from the Rossi home. It is believed that the first train hit the pooch at 10:30 a.m., but it wasn't until 4:30 p.m. that he was finally rescued. That's because every time Loki was hit, each conductor believed that he was already dead. Therefore, they saw no point in stopping their train and disrupting services. They hate hitting animals, but they can't stop that train. They just considered he was dead after they hit him, Ryan Rossi explained. But because Loki was just small enough to fit between the track and the bottom of the train, he somehow managed to cling to life during this horrific 6-hour ordeal. In the end, one conductor luckily saw Loki move and knew that he was still alive. The final conductor at 4:30 p.m. said he was going to pass over Loki and they just thought it was a dead dog, Ryan revealed. But thankfully, Loki lifted his head up and then put his head back down. The conductor saw the movement and called for help. 2 railway workers were then able to retrieve Loki from the tracks and rush him for emergency treatment to West Vet Animal Emergency Center in Garden City, Idaho. That's when the Rossi family were notified about what had happened to their loving pet. Upon hearing the terrifying news, the family rushed to be by Loki's side and give him what they thought would be their final few cuddles. But amazingly, Loki turned out to be a born survivor and was determined to pull through. We were petting him and he lifted his head and he smiled. At that moment, I just looked at my wife and said, "We'll do whatever it takes," Ryan told KTVB. Struck by Loki's unbelievable fighting spirit and ability to overcome adversity, the family refused to give up on him. "If he can get ran over and still fight and still smile, then we'll fight with him," Ryan said. Unfortunately, vets were unable to save his left leg and his tail, and Loki also lost his left eye. In fact, he had suffered multiple lacerations and required daily visits to the vet for his extensive trauma. In order to pay for Loki's expensive treatment and surgeries, the family set up a GoFundMe page. And fortunately for them, hundreds of people contributed to Loki's vet bills, and soon the dog began to recover and adapt to life after his accident. In fact, he quickly got used to having only 3 legs and learned to hobble around the house like a champ. "It's just a miracle," Ryan said of his dog's incredible recovery. "He's eating on his own, going to the bathroom, and is responding to his name and to touch. It's amazing the improvement he's making," the family wrote on their GoFundMe page. "The staff has been so great with him, and we are all so happy he is home." In the week that followed, Loki continued to build his strength and soon began to resemble his old self. Every day I look at him and he's moving more and more. He's adapting so quickly, Ryan said. Now known as Lucky Loki, the amazing canine can expect a long and happy life with his loving and supportive family at his side. That is, so long as he remembers to stay closer to home. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider sharing it with your friends and family. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.